Beat inside. Oh, look out. And Fulkerson went hard against the stanchion. Saw him grab at that thumb. He missed the first game of the year with that injured left thumb.
Nice pass by Kennedy. You can see right there as John falls down. No Josiah James today. Flu-like symptoms. So the transfer from Auburn, Powell, gets a chance to put some points on the board early.
Josiah Jordan James, good rebounder, led them in rebounding last year. Vescovy off the glass, wouldn't go. Good rebound by Fulkerson. Vescovy pulled down by Baycott. So still no score, just getting going here from the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
Well, we saw a lot of growth from North Carolina yesterday. This team plays a lot of young players.
Good position for Baycott and a nice pass as they go high-low. North Carolina led by former Tar Heel Hubert Davis. After 9 seasons of making suggestions, he said, now I make decisions. A lot of decisions. His first year taking over after Roy Williams, 18 years and 3 national titles.
I don't know about you. I never thought he would leave the cushy confines of ESPN, but Roy called him home where he had a home in Chapel Hill, and we saw a different side, as you see Hall of Famer Roy Williams, a different side of the Hubert Davis that we worked with. The sweetheart with the great smile, highly competitive on that sidelines yesterday. Tennis team responded.
The 1-0 Tar Heels here in the early going as Powell swings it. Now Chandler down low, and they get the foul on Baycott. Armando Baycott in the loss yesterday, fouled out, 2 points, 5 rebounds.
Got a hold.
And this time I believe they got Dawson Garcia. Garcia, the Marquette transfer, coming off a really nice effort. 26 points, 8 rebounds, did foul out. Powell cutting to the rim and puts it in. And Tennessee has the lead.
Nice little inbounds action right there. Gets Powell an easy one to the basket. Good execution.
Love off the dribble, calm with a rebound. And here come the Volunteers. Powell will try. That shot is short, was deflected.
Well, I thought that shot was deflected, John.
So did I.
Yep. Take a look right here. Well, there's a good inbounds action right there with Powell top of the key. Good screen in. I thought that
yeah, the last shot was touched.
Yeah, and I was surprised that the other 2 officials, you know, it's usually teamwork in that. That ball even changed, I thought, rotation. Nope.
Conway intercepts the pass from Love. Vescovy jump stop out of bounds. And a turnover. Santiago Vescovy, we talked about it yesterday. See Kerwin Walton will check in. Again, Leaky Black did not play yesterday, and so Walton got a chance to start. Love will grab a seat.
Leaky's going to have, I think, a really good role on this team because he's kind of a jack of all trades. They've got size inside. The precocious sophomore guards are getting better, and I think Leaky fits in nicely. Can do a little bit of everything. It's good defense.
Shot clock is at 5. Davis got to go here with a bigger Powell on him. Hangs, can't hit. Good defense by Tennessee. Toss up ahead, Kamwa.
Corner.
Chandler, got it.
That's big time. First of all, it's a great pass and a good steal right there.
And now a steal, Powell inside, bucket. Tennessee up 6-1.
Kennedy Chandler got it started with a great look ahead, and then he knocked down the 3 in the corner. Really anxious to see how he bounces back from that 1 for 9 yesterday.
Walton off the mark. Baycott left hand puts it in.
What we've seen in this tournament, those big guys who get to the backside when those shots go up, they get good position to grab that offensive rebound.
Chandler, a little floater, rebounded by R.J. Davis. Davis, a sophomore from Westchester, New York, just outside of New York City. Garcia wide open from 3. What do you want to see from Kennedy Chandler here in this one?
Just run this team, pick your spots, when to score, but he is an electric passer as well, John. I want to see him play with energy.
Tomwa step back, rolls off. Baycott the board, and here come the heels.
See, Carolina loves to play through the high post, and that time Fulkerson didn't let Baycott touch it. Providence College for one Rick Barnes, and Danny does a great job at the NCAA. And we had, John, a Final Four level game in that first game.
Also worth mentioning, Danny, the son of course, the late great Dave Gavitt.
That's right.
And when you look at and think about modern college basketball and what we're talking about, oh, nice block, Chandler. Vescovi gives off.
Yep.
And a nice save there as Walton able to secure it for the Tar Heels. Brady Manick into the game. Baycott inside, flips it in, and it's a one-point game.
Yeah.
Just to finish the thought, Dave Gavitt, I mean, has impacted the game of college basketball as much as anyone over the course of the last 40 years or so.
Yeah, no question about it. The founder of the Big East, he was a great coach himself. USA basketball, really the architect of the dream team in 1992. So no question. And Danny is, his dad would be proud.
Got to work a radio game years ago with Dave Gavitt. It was a real thrill.
Yep. Good job by Baycott inside. That's
Brady Manick buries that, and he's a guy that can do a little bit of everything. Oklahoma transfer. He can rebound, he can pass, and he can step out and hit that.
And can you imagine he's a 16th all-time scorer in the history of Oklahoma? Blake Griffin, Buddy Hield, the great Wayman Tisdale. And he is more than just a shooter, John, but when you give him this much room, this is pretty much automatic. He's done that many, many times in his college career. And a great addition. You know, we talked about it yesterday, this transfer eligibility thing. It's like picking up a solid, if you're an NBA team, a solid free agent.
Bailey off the mark. That one tipped and eventually ends up with Brandon Huntley Hatfield.
Young man with a lot of promise.
Vescovi draws the foul. Yeah, that one on Anthony Harris. All right, so let's do our public service announcement. Basically, Santi Vescovi has been allowing people to mispronounce his name, but the emphasis is not on the middle syllable. So as much as Tennessee fans think his name is Vescovi, it is not.
No, and stop tweeting me, okay? Stop tweeting me. It's Vescovi.
Vescovi.
Right? Vescovi.
Vescovi. Yeah.
So stop tweeting that we don't know what we're saying. I used to do this. Well, you know, during the NBA.
No, the Tennessee PR people came up to us and told us that he's been allowing us to pronounce his name wrong. The emphasis in their pronunciation guide, it is Vescovi.
Well, when I did the NBA draft for 12 years, what I would do every year when I was over in Europe was just ask the kids, how do you say your name? Right. And they would tell me. And then David Stern would often, sometimes get it wrong. I would say it the way that they told me. And his family. And all that's all that matters.
Davis getting through the defense, gets hit, and He'll go to the line. R.J. Davis had a good game against Purdue. 18 points, 4 assists. A big recruit out of the CHSAA in New York.
Yes, all-time leading scorer in Westchester County. And you know who he surpassed? You remember the great Donye Abrams of Boston College. I really loved the way the sophomores played yesterday for Hubert Davis. Love and this guy Davis were outstanding.
I think Donye Abrams is the color analyst on the radio for BC.
I remember.
All right, Week 11 Monday Night Football. Giants head to Tampa at a crucial game for both teams. 3-6 Giants need a win to get back in the hunt. Tom Brady and the Bucs have lost 2 straight. And their NFC South lead shrinking to a game over the Saints. 8 p.m. on ESPN, ESPN Plus, ESPN Deportes, and the app, and ESPN2. We call it the Deuce on Monday Night Football. The Manning cast, Peyton and Eli.
Eli Manning has been the revelation. We knew Peyton would be good, but Eli's been outstanding.
They got inside left hand, good.
Yep. He doesn't have to see Zach Edey today in that 7'4", 290 frame. He's really operating well inside.
Or Travion Williams.
Yep.
Davis collects. Here come the heels. I think that might have been back tapped away by Zakai Ziegler.
Sure was, John. Zakai never gave up on that dribble. And Chase Davis down from behind, the freshman from New York, who in July, what's that, 5 months ago, did not have a Division I scholarship offer anywhere. Played great at the Peach Jam in Augusta. Tennessee offered him, he reclassified, and he's going to be an electric player. Rich Lawrence loves his kids.
Carolina by a point. Ziegler working here on Love. Lopchich gets it off now. Huntley Hatfield.
Gotta go. Does he see it?
Shot clock winding down. Does Lopchich see it? Huntley Hatfield does it, hits.
Good job by Hatfield. I don't know if Lopchich knew, but he did get rid of it like it was a hot potato, and the freshman, who's got a lot of promise, knocked it down.
Garcia hits the deck, turnover. Tennessee looking to add to their lead. Ziegler.
Both teams love to push the pace. I love this. They're going to start making shots. This is vintage Carolina basketball.
Well, I think both these teams should be fun to watch this year. They're going to, at their best, get out and move and play a pretty up-tempo pace, I think.
Yeah, I agree, John. What we saw from Carolina yesterday, they're going to be electric at home this year. Nice.
That's nasty right there.
Yep. Very patient. We've seen some great post play in this tournament. Great footwork. And how about this kid?
Huntley Hatfield got way deep in the post and couldn't be stopped.
That young
Tennessee
man
leads.
Yeah, how about this, John? He's 18 years old. He will not turn 19 until next August.
And he reclassified. He was the number 4 prospect for next year, and ends up being the number 19 prospect for this year. Manic. Loose ball, Ziegler. And Tennessee with the advantage. Under 11 to go, first half. And Huntley Hatfield a little too strong.
One thing I love about this tournament is you lose yesterday, you're disappointed, you get to get right back on the court and try to get a win.
That one taken away, it's Bailey.
Nice
Lopchich
pass.
back to Bailey, reverses, and good.
Lopchich looking like Jokic right there. The Serbian sensation. See that one-hand pass?
No doubt. Manic can't hit, but Garcia gobbles up the rebound. Put back wouldn't go, in close. Bailey wide open.
Got to get closer than that. Like the pace, like the shot too. Pick and roll. Got to roll or pop.
Lob, Manic. Wouldn't go. Ziegler hesitates. Oh, boy.
Sweet.
How's that for quickness? Tennessee by 5, and when we return, how about a comp?
We're looking to see a bounce-back game after yesterday's foul-plagued performance.
Got some love from NBA players like Trae Young, Ja Morant, and I don't think there's any question that the quickness is a lot to deal with, and they got a lot on the floor right now with both Chandler and Ziegler.
Yeah, I love that they're playing together. There's nothing wrong with playing two-point guards. See, this kid's quickness. Look at this. Look at this. You know what it does? It allows Kennedy Chandler to take a mental health break and keep him on the court. He doesn't have to handle the ball every single time, although Rick Barnes is not going to like that defense. John.
Step on the baseline.
And I love this because you watch the speed now. Ooh. Remember, no scholarship offers last July. And you'd say, why would this kid go to a place that already has Vescovi and Chandler? Well, Chandler's supposed to be gone in a year, and this kid's going to end up being a terrific 4-year guard. He is a pest. And he's going to make Chandler better every day.
Offensive foul. How about that? So they get Dawson Garcia. And that is 2 now. What do you got, Franny?
Let's see. Let's take a look right here. That's blocked out by Grant Williams. Yeah, that's to see that. Listen, you don't like it, but the rule this year is they are not going to allow either guy in the post to displace the other.
Right.
Last year, there's no way they call that a foul. This year, they're trying to eliminate collisions. And if they call it early and you stop running people over, then maybe players will adjust.
Fulkerson. Nice job.
Grant Williams likes it. Former teammate. Fulke arrived in Knoxville in 2016. He's one of those super seniors, John. Flopped. Wow.
Ooh.
Yep. See, that's where I don't think so. Now, again, if there's any contact in there, that term displacement.
So Baycott's got 2.
Yes, let's watch.
No, that's a flop.
That's a flop. See, in my opinion, that's a flop. Rob Riley will disagree. I do not like that call. That's the one problem with calling flopping is it's a complete judgment call, and they're going to get those wrong. They are.
But I mean, that's what the job is. Judgment calls.
Yeah, exactly. You're calling balls and strikes, right? No, I thought that was a flop. That should have been a flop warning.
Manic. High off the window. Nice shot. Come off the glass, but wouldn't fall. It'll go the other way. Under 8 timeout. Tennessee and North Carolina balls by.
Hubert Davis has a terrific recruiting class coming in. And we asked him about it, and I said, is it easier to recruit for yourself than for somebody else? He said, absolutely.
Lob, Kamwa, Vescovi with a nice pass, but they couldn't convert.
What I like about Carolina, always on the attack in transition.
Baycott puts it on the floor. Had it blocked.
Nice job of catching in what we call a short roll. When they trap that guard and pick and roll, you got to open up early. He did. And what I like about Baycott, watched a lot of film of him last year, John. His skill level is still improving, but he plays with really good energy for a young guy this size.
And one of the things they're looking for from him with consistency, just consistently bringing production, or what?
Well, what he is a really good college center. He really is, and you know he wants to play in the NBA. Teams are not sold on his overall athleticism, but that doesn't mean he's finished his race. He's a good college center right now. What he needs to do is become a dominant college center and go from there.
Vescovi deep, got it. Well, we saw his shooting ability on display yesterday. The junior from Uruguay, he had 23 points. He hit 4 threes yesterday.
And Rick Barnes said most improved vol this past summer. And we can see why. Nice.
Davis, great look. Beating the freshman Dontrez Styles, but he couldn't convert. And now Chandler. Fulkerson to Vescovi.
Ooh, that was good.
Yeah.
Good ball movement. Great save by Chandler. Great block on the other end by Huntley Hatfield.
Fulkerson get a piece of that?
Yeah, I think he did. Like this pace. Oh, you had him. Got to reward Fulke for running.
Yeah, they get the foul on Brandon Huntley Hatfield.
There's that improvement we talked about. Santi plays. He's from Uruguay, played on the national team, and continues to improve his skill level. John, let's go back to his freshman year. He's from the NBA Global Academy. He showed up in late December. They got a tip. He committed. He got there in late December. He was in the starting lineup a week later playing in the SEC. I think his first game was at Missouri, and he might have had 10 turnovers or something like that. Rick Barnes rode him the whole way, and he keeps getting better. There's that track.
And now Love, step back. That's way deep, and he gets it to go. Caleb Love.
I think he's the key to a great season.
He's uber talented. Lob inside, Plavšić. Carolina fans wanted to travel. And here comes Love. Ball knocked away, and Chandler was out of bounds. It'll be Carolina basketball.
You know, Caleb Love is not a pure point guard. He is a scorer. But you can see right here, great step back, good footwork. Hubert trying to get him, and he is develop into an all-around guard. These two young guards are getting better. And by the way, 3 young sophomore guards as Kerwin Walton now checks in. A great shooter.
Love was a top 20 guy.
Yes, he was. Yep. And Walton was the 6th guy signed in that big class they had, and he turned out to have a great freshman year.
Tennessee with the ball up by 4. Closing on 4.5 to go. Ziegler, jumper. And I think they got Plavšić over the back. They did.
What I like that Rick Barnes is doing, and I don't remember seeing this much in the first couple games, is he's got 3 point guards out there right now in Vescovi, Chandler, and Ziegler. And I think we're going to see a lot of that this year, especially the way Kennedy Chandler has improved his outside shooting over the last couple years. Kennedy's dad asked Rick Barnes when Kennedy was a sophomore, what does my son,
right?
Yeah, in high school, what does my, and they were recruiting him. He hadn't committed, not even close to committing. What does my son have to do to get better? He said, work on his shooting. And as a freshman so far, he's knocking that 3-ball down.
Okay, they were trying to figure out
who the over the back was. Yep.
So I guess the fouls were wrong on the scoreboard, and they needed to figure out who the shooter would be. So Manick will go to the line after Plavšić went over the back. Manick gets the front end of the 1-and-1. Feast Week rolls on tonight. The Shriners Children's Charleston Classic starts 7:30 Eastern. Number 22 St. Bonaventure against Marquette. Immediately following, it's the Roman main event title game. Number 4 Michigan taking on Arizona at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
Great matchup. St. Bonaventure, one of those teams that you could see getting to an Elite Eight.
Vescovy high off the window, wouldn't fall. Leaky Black pulls it down. Didn't play yesterday again, non-COVID illness. He's as good a defender as they have. That one knocked away. Chandler trying to track it down. Couldn't save, out of bounds. And it'll be Carolina basketball. Man, a lot of effort. I'd like to see it.
Absolutely. Santi Vescovy, first guy over there. This is great. High school All-American. You don't see him diving on the floor every single time, but watch Kennedy Chandler. And unfortunately, he saved it off his foot.
Carolina ball, they're down by 2. Kennedy Chandler, top 10 in the ESPN 100. Yesterday, 6 points in the loss to Villanova, just 1 for 9 from the floor. Walton handling here. Shot clock winding down. Davis has to hoist. And Huntley Hatfield grabs the rebound. Carolina unaware, looking at that shot clock in that spot. Feed inside, that's Powell with the deuce.
Great cut. Powell's supposed to come off a staggered double screen for a shot at the top of the key. Instead, he back cut the defender. Great find. Huntley Hatfield looks pretty good, John.
Walton jumper. And the Vols with the ball up by 4. Closing it on 3 to go.
There's that Gretzky.
Yeah, no doubt. Probing, back. Lefty at the free throw line to Fulkerson. Loose ball. Chandler, book it.
That's that shooting we talked about. He can really, really knock it down. He's improved so much.
Vescovy collects and puts it in. A 7-0 run. Vescovy with 7 points. Manick tries to answer and does.
You know what I love about that possession? I watched Hubert Davis. I thought that might be a time for a timeout. He allowed his team to play on. They got a great look.
6-point Tennessee advantage. Chandler lost the handle, and it ends up with R.J. Davis. Manick will try another. Gets another Brady Manick. 3-point game. Timeout Tennessee.
Decided to spend his 5th year here in Chapel Hill, and I'd say so far it's worked out pretty well.
Carolina's second leading scorer coming in. Chandler looking for the lob. Fulkerson could not finish.
That is a crusher.
Out of bounds, and it belongs to Tennessee.
Yeah, that's you run a play out of a timeout, and you get an opportunity to score. If you're Fulky, you got to do that. Can I just do one more thing for you idiots in Tennessee? It's Vescovy, okay? We asked him, so stop tweeting me. Yeah, it's Vescovy. Last time.
I'm gonna have to get you to settle down. We're gonna
just can't help it.
Fulkerson backing in, and that'll go.
That's a good way to come back.
Fulkerson, 24 years old, guy who is going to set likely the Tennessee all-time games played record and likely the SEC record. Man, it can't hit.
And his former teammate Grant Williams is here today from the Boston Celtics. They came in together in 2016. Grant showing some love for the Vols.
Chandler with that bucket.
Yeah, this is the Kennedy Chandler that we didn't see much yesterday because of foul trouble. And Chandler is doing a great job of telling Plavsic, listen, we're icing that. We're trying to keep the ball on the side, but you can't run up on a quick guy like that. Watch this speed by Kennedy Chandler. Downhill, and you love when those little guys finish high off the glass. Keep it away from the shot blocker. Young man who helped Jamie Dixon win a gold medal at the FIBA Under-19 World Championships last year up in Estonia.
Love hooks that one. Carolina within 6. Where do you see Carolina fitting in the ACC?
I think the league is still not as strong as it's been in the past. I think Carolina can be in the top 5, John. I really do. After Duke and what they've done early, Florida State is not quite where we thought they might be early. They're still going to be very good. This Carolina team has a chance to be very good. Virginia Tech, a very sneaky good older team, is going to be in Brooklyn on Wednesday to take on Memphis. I love Mike Young's team. But I think Carolina can certainly finish in the top 3 or 4.
Oh, nifty move there by Fulkerson.
And his former teammate is standing up at courtside. He loves it.
Can't miss him there in the orange. Grant Williams to our right by Caleb Love. So he'll take a seat.
Little zone now by Tennessee. First time we've seen that.
R.J. Davis here. Clock winding down. Gotta go. Love launches. And a rebound pulled down by guess who? Kennedy Chandler. And Tennessee will take a 7-point lead. They're at their best when he's off the ball a little bit more, and Chandler has the ball in his hands. Turnover there. Black with it. And North Carolina looking to chip away at a 7-point deficit. Inside Baycott, loose ball. Baycott puts it in.
I like it. You can tell that Hubert Davis looked at some stat sheet and said, we need more points in the paint, and that's a good place to go.
Powell collects the pass, looking for some help. Baycott with 10 down. Vescovy got it. And the triple right there.
Well, the other thing about his improvement is this is willing to step up, take big shots, and be a leader for this team. Got a lot of international experience playing for Uruguay. Yep, you can see the effort. Yep, go inside.
Combo the rebound, kick up ahead, and Powell. And Black, oh, they got the foul. Leaky Black. Rayshawn Malik Black. Grandma named him Leaky.
Middle name, right?
Yep.
I think as the sophomores take on more of the scoring, Davis and Love, Leaky Black becomes more important because he does a lot of things to help you win besides his scoring.
Yep. Comwell with Baycott on him.
Good D. Good D. That's 3 seconds. Yep. The rule there is they will allow you to take your time. In the post, he could have gone up and shot it, but once he kicks it out, he was in that 3-second area for so long. Take a look. See, he's got to back him down. Just get a shot up. Once he passes it out and he's been in there for 3-4 seconds, it's an automatic 3-second call.
8-point Tennessee advantage. Love will try. And look at Chandler flying in for the rebound. Toss up ahead, and Fulkerson. Good pass, nice hands.
That's what we call a lay it out front pass. He laid it right over the top of the defense with some touch.
Garcia swatted away by Kamwa. And now Chandler will set it up. Tennessee leading by 10. Just get going here in the second half. Luke Shambi, Fran Fraschilla.
Nice.
Chandler, nice pass right there. Little pocket pass there.
Absolutely. Threw it from that right pocket. Great pick and roll basketball right there by Kennedy Chandler.
As Baycott with a dozen as he slams it home.
Yep, another good solution to pick and roll. They tried to ice that ball on the side, so the big fellow Baycott opened up, caught it, finished at the rim. Watch this pocket pass by Kennedy Chandler right now. Watch his right pocket. He's going to get to the lane. Boom, right off that right hip. And a great catch by Fulkerson. Really nicely done. One thing about Chandler, John, is just looking at him like he looks poised. To me, he looks like he knows what he's doing out there.
Yep. 7 points, 5 assists. Vescovi, nice steal. And spins it off the glass and in. And Santiago Vescovi with that bucket. He's got a dozen.
Good hands.
Davis goes and tracks it down. R.J. Davis and the Tar Heels down a dozen. 9-2 run. Davis and one. And he'll go to the line. Back to the other end.
Yeah, good hands by Vescovi. Watch the finish on the other side of the rim. And then I watched R.J. Davis enough to know this is definitely a weapon in his arsenal. Really soft floater in that mid-paint area. He's going to try to avoid charges with that move. Young man who's a high school teammate of A.J. Griffin, who's playing at Duke now as a freshman up at Archbishop Stepinac in White Plains, New York.
Who else was there? Marty Conlon go there?
Marty Conlon went to Stepinac. He sure did. Played at Providence and in the NBA. By the way, played for Rick Barnes at Providence.
Ziegler looking for space. Feed inside, nice. And that one up and in. Uroš Plavčić.
Good two-man basketball. First it was Fulkerson, now Plavčić. Good hands. Oh, it's too easy. Rick Barnes said, get him out. Somebody's coming in.
Huntley Hatfield coming in. Plavčić again puts it in.
Now you say, no, never mind.
Would you do that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, never mind.
Come on.
He's got 2 baskets.
Davis, little short. Baycott, rebound.
Wow. That's a lot of contact.
Ziegler probing. Powell hits the jumper. Tennessee with a 13-point advantage.
You know that guy scored 26 points twice last year as a freshman at Auburn. Powell's going to be a good player.
Manic. And Chandler the rebound. 13-point advantage that you keep emphasizing here. And, you know, they clearly trust him. I also am intrigued by a lineup, and I'm curious to see if they can sustain it. I know that at the offensive end it's electric, but can they tolerate having 2 guys as small as Ziegler and Kennedy on the court at the same time? Because they certainly can make stuff happen.
Well, what I would ask you is, do you think Rick Barnes through the year, the defensive philosophy is in his DNA? Yes.
Right.
So I think, yes, they will figure out a way to play those guys. And at times it's a mismatch defensively, but they'll more than make up for it with the... Well, watch this kid Ziegler, man. He's a pest.
Combo the bucket at the other end, and now Love gets fouled.
And Ziegler right now is telling Huntley Hatfield, we're in an ice, which means I'm going to force the ball down to you. And because the big fellow wasn't there, you got a kid who 6 months ago didn't have a Division I scholarship. His coaching is big guy. See that?
Yeah, he was directing traffic right there, no question.
Because he looks bad.
That.
He looks bad because he's forcing Caleb Love down to the big guy who's not there because he doesn't know the coverage.
Tennessee by 13. Lob and a throwdown. Tom with a bucket.
Great set and a great find by Ziegler.
That got Grant Williams out of his chair. Manick tries and hits. Brady Manick having himself a nice afternoon.
Yesterday it was Garcia. Today it's Manick.
And that'll go the other way.
Little set play right here. You got a back screen by Vescovi and Comor finishing at the rim. Great execution. Watch Vescovi come into your picture right now. Legal screen. That sets up the dunk. Freshmen, John, are notorious for illegal screens. Freshmen, big guys.
Combo will take a seat. Carolina down by a dozen. Love trying to turn the corner and it rolls home.
Oh man, I love the way he finished that.
9 points for the sophomore. Shot short. Vescovi the rebound, and now Ziegler will try. Got it.
Man, is he good? Zakai Ziegler, last seen with the Long Island Lightning, the AAU team that was playing down in Peach Jam in July.
Manick, ball fake, jumper, gets another. 19 for Brady Manick.
Great stroke, great rotation. Comes from a family of shooters.
I believe they get Manick on the foul as he bumped Fulkerson. So Brady picks up his first.
Grant Williams over here refereeing, helping out Jamie Lucky.
Yeah. Grant has two, by the way. He's got two.
Grant showed up and Jamie Lucky gave him 2 fouls immediately. Really good poise by Tennessee, especially bouncing back after that. That's an offensive foul.
No doubt.
But Tennessee, after the
coach at North Carolina, prior to that, worked with us.
Yep.
We both worked with him.
Always enjoyed Hubert's great smile. There's a back cut out of a timeout.
Vescovi with the shot and the deuce.
Nicely done. Excellent execution by Tennessee right now. You can get that when a team is fighting from behind, trying to overplay everything.
Love jumper. That is smooth.
He's going to have some great games this season. Remember last year, 2 of his best games were in games against Duke. He averaged about 23, 24 a game in the 2.
Ziegler tries.
Wow.
Buries that one.
Wow, he's like a third down back. It's like having Darren Sproles come out of the backfield, run some punch back as well.
Love step back. And a good battle for the rebound. Vescovi with it. Off to Chandler. Chandler looking for some space. Probing.
Poised once again,
very
right?
much so.
Yep. I think these 3 guys are going to play together, John. There's no doubt in my mind they can. Oh, man.
Huntley Hatfield feed inside. Had a really good look at it. Yeah, they get the foul on Caleb Love.
You're not going to get on a plane at LaGuardia and fly to Europe with 1 pilot. You're just not going to do it, okay? Not going to take that chance. There's always 2 or 3 up there. When you're coaching a team with 3 point guards, it gives you a comfort level knowing that any one of them can run the team while the other either catch their breath on the court, look to score more, or you rest them. And that's what Rick Barnes has right now. He's got 3 co-pilots if these kids continue to grow as freshmen.
I don't know if you can go to Europe out of LaGuardia, Fran. I think you got to go to Kennedy.
That's why I never can get there. Every time I go to LaGuardia trying to go to Paris, I go home.
Down?
Yeah, I go home. That's the problem.
Yeah, you just figured it out.
Yeah.
Tennessee by a dozen. 10:19 to go.
Oh man, should have thought about that. I got to ask Santi Vescovi how to get to South America. That's a foul.
Up to the floor, R.J. Davis. What about this guy? I mean, R.J. Davis coming off a nice effort, 18 points, 4 assists against Purdue. What's the next step for him in terms of development?
You know, the one thing about these Carolina guards is I don't see, they're all real, the sophomores, they're all really talented scorers. And the thing I think Hubert is trying to find is a playmaker out of those three. But RJ's a scorer, and you don't want to take that away from him. I would say one of those guys has got to be a little more of a facilitator. Nice.
Black puts it on the floor and takes it to the basket for 2.
And he could actually be that guy at times because he has played point guard for Roy Williams and will probably play some for Hubert Davis. You and I are in the Big 12 a lot. Leaky Black reminds me of Marcus Garrett that played at Kansas for Bill Self. He can do a lot of everything, and especially on the defensive end. Marcus now at the Miami Heat. Good D until the foul.
So they get Black with the foul. That's his 3rd. He was leading Carolina in plus minus into the game the other day. Didn't play.
Well, remember Sasha Stefanovic had the huge game yesterday for Purdue, and there was no Leaky Black to try to shut him down.
Fulkerson and one. John Fulkerson, the 24-year-old, absorbs the contact, and he'll go to the line, chance at a 3-point play.
His former teammate, former classmate, absolutely loves it. Grant Williams. Watch this move right here by Fulke. And once he gets Manick in the air, he makes sure there's going to be contact, and then the concentration to finish for the youngster from Kingsport, Tennessee. One of the oldest players in college basketball this season. 6 years at Tennessee. Been offered a provost job after he finishes playing in the spring.
Under 10 here in the second half. Carolina. There's Dawson Garcia, way too strong. Haven't heard much from him in the second half.
Well, Manick's been so good, and Bakecoat's been out of foul trouble tonight. So Hubert's been able to play those two guys quite a bit. Tennessee's ball movement has really been good tonight.
Chandler, shot clock winding down. Kennedy Chandler lost the handle for a second. Lob.
That's legal.
And Black pulls down the rebound. They could not convert.
That ball hit the rim.
Hubert Davis screaming, move it, move it.
And I think that to me, I really think Carolina is going to have a solid season. They're going to be fun to watch. Just the 3 young guards are all score first guys, and you don't want to change that. Trust me, you don't want to change that, but you'd love to have somebody that's going to spray it a little more,
right,
and find Garcia, Manick, Bacot. But you also can't take away their strengths, John. The hardest part about not having a pure point guard is you have to do a lot of coaching from the sideline and direct traffic.
Sure.
But you also have to give these kids room to grow as players and scorers, and they can do that.
Tennessee by a dozen. R.J. Davis with 6.
Good cuts.
Powell back in there.
That should be a foul inside on Davis.
And Chandler buries that one. Well, they certainly will love seeing more of that. And I believe Rob Riley, yeah, he just got Olivier Kamwa with his 4th. Break in the action, Volunteers a 15-point advantage.
Went to college halfway between Knoxville and Chapel Hill, if I know my geography a little bit. But Alvin's going to do a really good job, John. He's a terrific coach, players coach. They will play hard for Alvin Gentry.
How about Dan Mullen getting fired? And think about Miami, Florida State, and Florida. All 3 programs right now.
It's unbelievable.
Scuffling football-wise. Chandler can't hit. The one other note on that, my buddy Pablo Torre did a podcast, ESPN The Daily, where in the investigation they basically uncovered in the last 10 years they paid out close to $500 million of dead money to coaches to not coach.
Yeah,
$500 million is what I just said.
It's
with
insane.
a B.
And then what bothers me is when they try not to pay you. Just pay the man. Wow, that's unbelievable.
Ziegler is lightning quick and converts.
What a finish.
With bodies draped all over him.
Yeah.
Zakai Ziegler has had a really nice day. 12 points. This is the largest lead of the game. It's 17. Garcia, right hand, wouldn't go. Tipped out by Plopchich.
Oh, nice. I love the way Huntley Hatfield ran the floor. The big fella opened up that shot for Powell because he ran the floor not knowing whether he was going to get it or not. Guy, John, but really has made an effort over the last part of his career to be just a great, he's always been a great players coach. He pushes hard. You know, we're sitting next to Grant Williams. I saw practices where he got on Grant hard. He's not afraid to coach his best players, but he's just a great human being, and really proud of what he's become and the way he's nurtured kids like Kennedy Chandler. And we mentioned it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. He texts Dickie V every morning just to give him some words of encouragement and faith, and I know Dick appreciates it, but he's a great mentor and put many guys in the NBA. He's not breaking rules, and much like Matt Painter, Hubert Davis, and Jay Wright, you're not going to have to worry about these guys getting your program in trouble.
Powell swings it. Ziegler gets another.
How about this kid, man? Wow. He is having a blast, and Grant Williams is loving this. And this is a great bounce back. That's a foul. Got to call that. After Tennessee got punched in the nose yesterday by a good Villanova team, they have responded well.
Zakai Ziegler with 15 points here today.
He played for a guy on the Long Island Lightning by the name of Shandu McNeil, who you remember, John. Outstanding player at Archbishop Molloy and then later St. Bonaventure. And when I was with Rick, we recruited Shandu. And I know that Shandu said in sending Zakai to Rick that I knew Coach Barnes. He recruited me. I trusted him. He would do right by Zakai. And we said this yesterday and today. He's going to make Chandler and Vescovi that much better every day in practice.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
He's a change of pace, you know, back like a third down. He's a punt returner.
Well, there's so much speed, and it's not like Chandler's lacking in that department.
You're going to see these guys on the floor a lot.
Closing out 5 minutes to go, and it's all Tennessee. They lead by 17. All right, so Hubert Davis is in his first year. I mean, the future, even short term, is bright this season. This should be a good Carolina team. It's not happening for him today, but you're in this spot, down 17, 5:14 to go. What do you want your team to do?
Just keep competing. Honestly, it's all about building. You hate to use the word culture, but it's about building what he's trying to build at Carolina, playing hard, playing together, overcoming adversity.
Ziegler and one.
Oh man, I don't want to say a star is born just yet, but this guy likes it. He's been liking it all afternoon. Zakai Ziegler, you've never heard of him, more than likely until this weekend.
He's got 17 points, 13 of them in the second half. Rick Barnes got to be delighted with the way his team has bounced back after getting thrashed by Villanova yesterday.
I once asked Rick Barnes when he was at Texas, he once called me and said, I got the best player in the country. He said, no, you got the best freshman in the country, Durant. He goes, no, I got the best player in the country.
Wow.
He was right. He said about a month ago to me, I've got a kid you are going to love.
Baycott with the rebound. R.J. Davis jumper. That'll go.
Yep. Got to keep playing. It's a process. Hubert's got a great class coming in.
Fulkerson is it back tapped, and Huntley Hatfield puts it in.
How much better is he today than yesterday? You can see why he's going to be in the NBA someday. He's not going to turn 19 until next August, but he's an old school SEC forward.
Paul tracks it down. And then a foul on Tennessee. You know, we talked about these two coaches. There is a connection between Rick Barnes and Hubert Davis. You know, Rick Barnes was at George Mason. Well, Hubert Davis grew up and played his high school ball in Northern Virginia,
Absolutely.
the Fairfax area, basically where George Mason is. Hubert came really close to signing at George Mason and playing for Rick Barnes.
No question. And the next year, Rick would have gone to Providence and left Hubert behind. But you know the story. Hubert's uncle, Walter, was a great player at North Carolina. And Dean Smith came in and sat down with Hubert and his dad and said, look, we don't think you're going to be able to play for us. You can come, but I don't think you're going to play much. And Coach Smith, they say, called a few days later and said, look, we want you to come. And Hubert only ended up the greatest three-point shooter in North Carolina history, still is.
Hubert Davis, third all-time in three-point field goal percentage in NBA history. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball.
And only 10 turnovers.
Zakai Ziegler, our player of the game, brought to you by the Basketball Hall of Fame.
And what'd you think of Vescovi today? Vescovi.
I need you to stop.
Vescovi.
Yeah, no. Vescovi. Off balance. And pulled down by Combo. Volunteers leading 84-67, 3:30 to go in this one. How about that second half? 70% from the floor.
Oh yeah, watch the cuts. Look how hard they're cutting. Watch the ball singing. And then this kid, I just love his poise, Kennedy Chandler.
Ziegler. That one wouldn't go. Fight for the loose ball and ends up with Love. Love looking for space. Manic feeds down Baycott. And if that's Kamala, I think he's done. And it'll be two shots.
Foul on 13. That's Olivier Kamala is fifth. Team's 10.
Olivier Kamala fouls out. Feast week rolls on tonight. A couple of championship games. Shriners Children's Charleston Classic. That starts at 7:30. St. Bonaventure against Marquette. The Bonnie's number 22. And then immediately following, it'll be the Roman main event title game, number 4 Michigan and Arizona from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. That's at 9:30 Eastern.
Shaka Smart's in his hotel room right now. They're going to leave probably in 15 minutes. He's watching this game.
He is?
The end of, yeah, definitely watching the end of the game.
Right.
He's just taking a shower, called home, and he has had his Golden Eagles off to a great start this year. And now they'll play a very good Bonnie's team. I told you, John, Mark Schmidt's got a team there that if they end up in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, do not be surprised. That's great ball handling right there. That's Marcus Haynes stuff.
Oh, boy.
Look at these two kids.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
And they're both freshmen.
Yeah.
Chandler and Ziegler. They're going to be a handful this year for the SEC.
Top of the league's going to be strong. Alabama, Auburn, I think will be good. Tech, Kentucky, certainly. Florida's got some wins. Look at that.
Chandler could quite get it to go. And Davis not able to find Baycott.
And that's a little bit of the lack of that point guard play I talked about. Not on target right there. RJ scored a ton of points at Stepanak. 2,600, I think, John.
2 to go. And Fulkerson. And finds Chandler the deuce. And Kennedy Chandler has had himself a nice game.
Now, Rick Barnes, I know Coach Barnes. He's coached in 1,000 games. He's in his head right now. He said, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is a good bounce back. This is going to be a good flight home to Knoxville. We made some progress this weekend. And they will learn from that loss to Villanova yesterday.
Chandler, 14 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds to go along with it. Vescovy buries it. Maddox swings it. Now Walton will try. How about this? Tennessee leading by 20. I don't know that we expected this type of margin with these two.
We did not.
Points in the paint, though, a big factor. Plus 32 for the Volunteers. Manick hoists and banks it in. Brady Manick.
He will take it.
He will definitely take it. 24 for Manick. Zakai Ziegler with 18. And he and Kennedy Chandler combined for 32. Rick Barnes and the Volunteers with a huge win, 89-72.